Namaste, Dandavat Pranam. By the instruction and grace of our spiritual master, Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Shripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj, we are here reading Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Canto 2, the Cosmic Manifestation, Chapter 6, Text 2. Sarvashunam Chabhayoscha Tanase Paramayane Ashvinor Osadinam Cha Granau Moda Parumdayo. His two nostrils are the generating centers of our breathing, and of all other airs, his smelling powers generate the Asvini Kumar demigods and all kinds of medicinal herbs, and his breathing energies produce different kinds of fragrance. Text 3. Rupanam tejasam chakshur divasuryasya chakshini karnodisham chatirtanam Shotram Aksha Sadhayoho. His eyes are the generating centers of all kinds of forms, and they glitter and illuminate. His eyeballs are like the sun and the heavenly planets. His ears hear from all sides and are receptacles for all the Vedas, and his sense of hearing is the generating center of the sky and of all kinds of sound. Purport. The word Tirthanam is sometimes interpreted to mean the place of pilgrimage, but Srila Jiva Goswami says that it means the reception of the Vedic transcendental knowledge. The propounders of the Vedic knowledge are also known as the Tirthas. Text 4. Tadgatram Vashtu Sharanam Shobhagasya Chabhajanam Tvagasya Sparsha Vayoscha Sarva Medhasya Chaivahi. His bodily surface is the breeding ground for the active principles of everything and for all kinds of auspicious opportunities. His skin, like the moving air, is the generating center for all kinds of sense of touch, and he is the place for performing all kinds of sacrifice. Purport. The air is moving, the air is the moving agent of all the planets, and as such, the generating centers for promotion to the deserving planets, the sacrifices, are his bodily surface, and are naturally the origin of all auspicious opportunities. Text 5. Ramanyud Jajatinam Yarvayagyastu Samvrata Keshasmasru Nakanyasya Shila Lohabra Vidyutam. The hairs on his body are the cause of all vegetation, particularly of the nose of those trees which are required as ingredients for sacrifice. The hairs on his head and face are reservoirs for the clouds, and his nails are the breeding ground of electricity, stones, and iron ores. Purport. The polished nails of the Lord generate electricity, and the clouds rest on the hairs of his head. One can therefore collect all sorts of necessities of life from the person of the Lord, and therefore the Vedas affirm that everything that is produced is caused by the Lord. The Lord is the supreme cause of all causes. Text 6. Bahavo lokapalanam prayasakshema karmanam. The Lord's arms are the productive fields for the great demigods and other leaders of the living entities who protect the general mass. Purport. This important verse of Srimad Bhagavatam is corroborated and nicely explained in Bhagavad Gita 10.41 through 42 as follows. Yad vibhuti matsattvam Srimad urjitam evava tad eva vagachatvam mamate jom jasambhavam atava bahunaitena kimjantena kimgyatena tavarjuna Ishtabhyaham idam krishnam ekam shena stito jagat. There are many powerful kings, leaders, learned scholars, scientists, artists, engineers, inventors, excavators, archaeologists, industrialists, politicians, economists, business magnates, and many more powerful deities or demigods like Brahma, Shiva, Indra, Chandra, Surya, Varuna, and Marut, who are all protecting the interest of the universal affairs and maintenance in different positions. And all of them are different powerful parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna is the father of all living entities who are placed in different high and low positions according to their desires or aspirations. Some of them, as particularly mentioned above, are specifically endowed with powers by the will of the Lord. A sane person must know for certain that a living being, however powerful he may be, is neither absolute nor independent. All living beings must accept the origin of the specific power as mentioned in this verse. And if they act accordingly, then simply by discharging their respective occupational duties, then they can achieve the highest perfection of life, namely eternal life, complete knowledge, and the inexhaustible blessings. As long as the powerful men of the world do not accept the origin of their respective powers, namely the personality of Godhead, the actions of Maya, illusion, will come to act. The actions of Maya are such that a powerful person, misled by the illusory material energy, wrongly accepts himself as all in all and does not develop God consciousness. As such, the false sense of egoism, namely myself and mine, has become overly prominent in the world, and there is a hard struggle for existence in human society. The intelligent class of men, therefore, must admit that the Lord, as the ultimate source of all energies, and thus pay tribute to the Lord for his good blessings. Simply by accepting the Lord as the supreme proprietor of everything, since he is actually so, one can achieve the highest perfection of life. Whatever a person may be in the estimation of the social order of things, if a person tries to reciprocate a feeling of love towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead and is satisfied with the blessings of the Lord, he will at once feel the highest peace of mind for which he is hankering life after life. Peace of mind, or in other words, the healthy state of mind, can be achieved only when the mind is situated in the transcendental love and service of the Lord. The parts and parcels of the Lord are endowed with specific powers for rendering service unto the Lord, just as a big business magnate's sons are empowered with specific powers of administration. The obedient son of the Father never goes against the will of the Father, and therefore passes life very peacefully in concurrence with the head of the family, the Father. Similarly, the Lord being the Father, all living beings should fully and satisfactorily discharge the duty and the will of the Father as faithful sons. This very mentality will at once bring peace and prosperity to human society. Text 7. Vikramo bhuvasvascha, Vikramo bhuvasvascha, Kshemasya sharanasya cha, Sarva kama varashapi, Haris karana aspadam. Thus the forward steps of the Lord are the shelter for the upper, lower, and heavenly planets, as well as for all that we need. His lotus feet serve as protection from all kinds of fear. Purport: for absolute protection from all sorts of fear, as well as for all our needs of life, we must take shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord, not only in this planet, but also in all the upper, lower, and heavenly planets. This absolute dependence on the lotus feet of the Lord is called pure devotional service, and it is directly hinted at within this passage. No one should have any kind of doubt in this matter, nor should one be inclined to seek the help of any other demigods, because all of them are dependent on him only. Everyone except the Lord himself is dependent on the mercy of the Lord. Even the all-pervading supersoul is also dependent on the supreme aspect of Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead. Text 8. Apam virasya sargasya parjanyasya prajapate pumsasishna upastastu prajatyananda nirvate. From the Lord's genitals originate water, semen, generatives, rains, and the procreators. His genitals are the cause of a pleasure that counteracts the distress of begetting. Purport. The genitals and the pleasure of begetting counteract the distresses of family encumbrances. One would cease to generate altogether if there were not, by the grace of the Lord, a coating, a pleasure-giving substance on the surface of the generative organs. This substance gives a pleasure so intense that it counteracts fully the distress of family encumbrances. A person is so captivated by this pleasure-giving substance that he is not satisfied by begetting a single child, but increases the number of children with great risk in regard to maintaining them, simply for this pleasure-giving substance. This pleasure-giving substance is not false, however, because it originates from the transcendental body of the Lord. In other words, the pleasure-giving substance is a reality, but it has taken on an aspect of pervertedness on account of material contamination. In the material world, sex life is the cause of many distresses on account of material contact. Therefore, the sex life in the material world should not be encouraged by the necessity. There is a necessity for generating progeny, even in the material world, but such generation of children must be carried out with full responsibility for spiritual values. The spiritual values of life can be realized in the human form of material existence, and the human being must adopt family planning with reference to the context of spiritual values, and not otherwise. The degraded form of family use of contraceptives, etc., is the grossest type of material contamination. Materialists who use these devices want to fully utilize the pleasure potency of the coating on the genitals by artificial means, without knowing the spiritual importance. And without knowledge of spiritual values, the less intelligent man tries to utilize only the material sense pleasure of the genitals. Text 9. Payoryamasya mitrasya parimokshasya narada himshaya nirtir mrityur nirayasya gudam smrta. O Narada, the evacuating outlet of the universal form of the Lord is the abode of the controlling deity of death, Mitra, and the evacuating hole on the rectum of the Lord is the place of envy, misfortune, death, hell, etc. Thus ends our reading for today. We'll continue from text 10 on Wednesday, hopefully. Jai Om Vishnu Pad Paramahamsa Shripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudev, Srila Acharya Dev, Srila Shanta Maharaj Ki Jai. All glories to our Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Jai Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the worldwide devotees Ki Jai. Jai Navadvip Dham Ki Jai. Mayapur Dham Ki Jai. Nishungapali Dham Ki Jai. Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai. Jagannath Balaram Subhadra Ju Ki Jai. Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai. Giri Govardhan Gupta Govardhan Dham Ki Jai. Sham Kund Radha Kund Ki Jai. Tulsi Devi Bhakti Devi Vrinda Devi Ki Jai. Jai Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Jai Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Jai Princeton Bhaktivedanta Institute Ki Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Institute Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Tidiya Shaka Mat Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Pramanandi. Hari 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 Bol. Dhanavad Pranams.